Hi everyone, this is Ray with the education team from Swirlydoos Kit Club, and this is a video that I'm going to showcase all 4 of these mediums that come in the mediums add-on for February 2014. So this month is our Lady Belle kit, and there's tons of neutral colors like the browns, creams, blacks, and then purple. So in the mediums kit we have Radiant Rain in the Namorado color, and it's a very neutral color. It gives everything a antique finish. It's really pretty. And then there's the Art Anthology Sorbet dimensional paint, and that is in Imperial. And Sorbet is a shiny paint, and it's very textural. You can get lots of dimension out of it. The next one is the Viva for Splash of Color Precious Metal Effect paint, and it comes in Blackberry. So 2 different shades of purple there. And the last thing that comes in the mediums kit is the Lindy Stamp Gang embossing powder in Midnight Bronze. So I'm just going to quickly go over some of the things you can do with these and what their properties are, so that you know how to use these if you got the mediums add-on. We get a lot of questions about how to use these, and so this is the video for you if you got the kit. So the first thing I'm going to start out with is the Radiant Rain. And what I want to show you first is I already did this and I let it dry, is what it looks like on black cardstock. So it's very shimmery, and it has somewhat of a peachy pink undertone. And this is what it looks like on white cardstock, or cream color. So it's a very distinct, creamy, kind of like an oat color. It's very pretty. And it is sheer. So that's one way you can use it, just if you're going to mist your papers. And then one of the other things that I like to do with these Radiant Rains, they look really nice over some So the Radiant Rain also gives everything somewhat of an antique finish. Here's a piece of lace, and I'll just show you what it looks like if you missed it. So it doesn't give too much color to it, it just kind of makes it brown, dingy, perfect for antiquing. And the other thing I like to do, especially with these Radiant Rains, it's hard to explain how they're different with from the other mists, but they just give a really nice sheen over any sort of darker ink. Like I'm going to use Timber Brown, but I've used black in the past, and it looks really cool. So I'm just going to put this on one of the wood flourishes that we got in the embellishment add-on. Just going to scrape it over, not covering it all up. And now that it's dry, you can see that it has a really nice sheen even over the top of the StazOn. Just something different to do. And you can do really anything with this mist that you can do with any other mist, so it's just the fancy color that matches with the kit this month. So the next thing I'll just show you is from the embossing powder. I've done a few different things with these in past mediums kits, so I wanted to come up with something different in case you don't know what else you want to do with them. You can actually use the embossing powder with any sort of embossing ink. This is perfect medium. And this time I wanted to share with you what it looks like if you use a mask. Look at how pretty that color is. It's black, but then when it shines in the light it has that bronze color. So pretty. So what I did is I used one of these Tattered Angels masks, and I put it like this, and then I took the spouncer, which you can get at Michael's, in the craft section where the paints are, like the acrylic paints where the Martha Stewart stuff is, and just kind of round it like this. And then I would just come back over through here, and I could just make that go as far as I wanted to. And so then it's not complete, it's not like a full line as if I were to like press this down or scrape it, but it just gives it almost a distressed, faded look. So that looks cool. And then the other thing I did, I was just kind of playing around so it doesn't look great, but I could make it look great. I did it again, is just kind of use this bouncer again around the edges, and then again put the embossing powder on and use the heat gun. So it's just a couple of different ways that you can use the embossing powder. And the next thing I'll show you is the art anthology, and first I'll just show you how it looks on black cardstock and on white cardstock, just so that you can get an idea. What I love about this is that it's really thick. You can use a paintbrush if you want to, but I like to use a palette knife. And I'll just show you that you can make it look pretty sheer. So you can make it as opaque as you want it to, or as light. And you can do all sorts of textural things. You could take like a toothpick and make all sorts of patterns in there if you wanted to. Anything that you can do with molding paste, you can do with this as far as making the textures go in there. So that's what it looks like on a light colored cardstock. And on black, it shows up as well. And I'll dry that so you can see how it changes just a tiny bit. So even when it dries, you can still see the color on dark, so it looks really cool. Another thing that you can do with the sorbet is that you can put it on your chipboard and make any sort of texture. I did this on those leaves again from the embellishment kit, the wood flourishes from Kaiser Craft. What I did is just put this on really thick. I let it dry for a little while until I could touch it, and then none of it would come off, but it was still kind of squishy. And then I took a heat gun and then I just pressed down on there, so it has some really nice texture going on there. And it kind of made it darker with the heat gun because I was putting it real close, trying not to set it on fire. And because this stuff is so thick, it works really well with masks. So I'll just show you really quick how simple this is. And you don't really have to worry about it getting underneath the mask. See? Perfect. Perfect for masks. And the last medium that I'm going to share with you is the Precious Metal Effect Paint. And this is really wonderful. This is probably my favorite medium out of the whole kit. It's very runny, so it would be great for making paint drips on your pages or any other projects that you have going on. And this is what it looks like on black cardstock. You can see there's lots of variation in the color there. There's a lot of silver and a lot of the purple blackberry color. And so what I noticed when I was doing this is that even though it has a little ball in there to shake it up, you really need to stir it before you get started if you want to have the most fluidity of your color. And that's okay if you don't. I'm fine with it looking like that. I love the look of things not being perfect. That makes me happy. So that's what it looks like on black cardstock, and this really shows you how opaque it is. So I'll just show you what it looks like on light colored cardstock, and I stamped on here so you could see how thick it is. So I'm going to stir it. And you can see that stamp, but not very much. Even if you go in with light strokes, it covers, so it's pretty opaque. I had a lot of fun with this color. I thought it looked really good on the chicken wire that we got in the main kit. This is just a remnant of the piece that I put on my sketch page. And this is what it looks like when you paint. This is some more trim from the main kit. It's like metal. It's plastic, but it looks like it's metal. And so it colors it pretty well. It's just something else you can do. And it actually colors metal very pretty too. And the other thing I wanted to try it on was a piece of resin. And it's just really opaque. No matter what you color, it's going to have that opaque look to it. It's not very sheer. You're not going to be able to see what you have underneath there. And the other thing about this is that it's very quick drying. So this will be dry probably in like 2 minutes. It's pretty dry here in Colorado, but there you go. So these are just some of the things you can do with the mediums. Obviously, you can do many more things, but hopefully for those of you that got the kit, this will give you some ideas in case you were stumped, because we want you to use them. And we hope this is just the beginning of the discussion of these different mediums. We want you to join our discussion on the forums on Swirlydoos.com in the mixed media tutorials section, and it will say Lady Belle Mediums Add-on. And we want you to share your ideas so that we can all learn from each other. So thanks for watching.